in for a treat. Two Eastern Michigan students just took third place in the National Slam Poetry Competition. We'll talk to them in a bit, but first, here to perform Lost Voices are Darius Simpson and Scout Bosley. Take it away.
The first day I realized I was black. It was 2000. We had just learned about blacks for the first time in second grade. At recess, all the white kids chased me into the woods chanting slave. My mother said I refused to come out for 3 hours. Said she thinks I was lost in the trees, but I just needed to be closer to my roots as a woman.
Having a boyfriend is a battle. If 70% of us are abused in a lifetime, what is the number of men doing it? The answer is not one man running faster than light to complete a mission, and that is what leaves me sick.
The second day I realized I was black was in a gas station. I only had 25 cents, so I searched what to spend it on. The cashier floated from aisle to aisle, eyes fixed on my hands. That was the first time I realized skin color was a crime.
My body has become calls to write legislation, calls for ass smacks in the back of a class. My body has demanded everything except respect. I've been asked, what makes you feel unsafe? And I struggle not to yell.
Everything. The third day I realized I was black was in an all-white cafeteria. I gathered my legs under me, made rockets of my feet, and approached a girl. She told me she was not into my type of guy. I felt the words shoot daggers into my melanin. I have never wanted to disappear so bad.
As a woman, I've learned to answer to everything except my name. Little lady is not said to mean equal, but to make sure I remember my place, I battle between wanting to own my body and accepting there's a 1 in 4 chance a man will lay claim to my skin, a plot of land for the taking.
The last day I realized I was black was in an elevator in California. To the white woman that told me she knows what it feels like to be black because she grew up poor, I would tell you to think before you speak, but your mind has got to be bacteria infected, and any filters of that labyrinth of nothingness might be worse than no thought at all.
There's a group of women going around the room sharing their personal definition of feminism. He is the only man in the room, and all of a sudden, the tone switches to destroying the patriarchy by annihilating all men.
Do you know what it feels like to be black? To pop-lock your way in and out of hugs, it is not a problem you want to sympathize. But to tell me you know my pain is to stab yourself in the leg because you saw me get shot. We have 2 different wounds, and looking at yours does nothing to heal mine.
Never will I turn away an ally.
But when a man speaks on my behalf, that only proves my point.
Movements are driven by passion, not by asserting yourself dominant by a world that already put you there. You speak to no pain, you only fathom because we told you it was there. You know nothing of silence until someone who cannot know your pain tells you how to fix it. Every day is a crucifixion when there is no regard for lines crossed.
I fight so my voice can be heard. I fight for the voices you silence, all in the name of what is right.
The problem is you assume this struggle is attached to a social class. I am black and bold and beautiful and brilliant by nature. Ain't no income that can change that.
The problem was speaking up for each other.
Is that everyone is left without a
voice.
That
Wow.
is some powerful stuff there,
That
guys.
is incredible.
Thank you so much.
Darius and Scout.
Thank you.
That
Just
is
gives you
remarkable.
chills. I know, this is something that a lot of our viewers have already seen because it's gone viral on YouTube. Did you expect that at all?
No, not at all.
Yeah, we just checked a little while ago, well over 2.3 million hits on YouTube. How did this all come about?
So actually the poem's idea was inspired by Joshua Bennett and Ben's poem from 2009, in which they did a poem about autism and silence. And it's not the same idea, the switching mics and the lost voices, but they mouthed each other's poems, and I saw that, and then I was like, okay, we need to do something like that for this competition. And then together we came up with the concept and the content.
Yeah, your performance is taking it to some pretty interesting places there. Scout, talk to me about what it's like to say things about, you were saying things that a black man would say, as Darius says things that a woman would say. What does that feel like?
Definitely when we were first writing the poem, it was very weird for both of us to think. I was like, do I really say that the first day I realized I was black? That's how we're gonna go with it. But as we got into the poem, you just kind of, he's my best friend, so it's I kind of am stepping into his shoes for a second, and once you get used to the poem, it's okay. But definitely the first few days, it was a lot of giggles.
And what about for you?
I'm actually a trained actor, so it was pretty easy for me. I'm not a trained actor, that was a joke. But yeah, saying the same thing, it was really weird at first, and we really had to stop and okay, well, you had to get used to saying those words.
So how long did it take for you actually to write this and to get it down, to be able to stand there and then just go, not mess up? It was flawless.
A month of 9 p.m. to like 2 a.m. practices. And then we just kind of did the competition. And after that, we were like, we got it. And we haven't really done the poem much since like April, I think.
You know, we have recently talked a lot about lost voices in the media, in just our communities. What do you hope people gain from listening to your performance, seeing your performance?
Well, first, I hope that they understand what's coming from the poem, which is to say that you can never really speak for someone. This is what it looks like literally when you attempt to speak for someone. So at first, just, you know, how to actually be an ally or to actually help someone and assist and push forward their voice. Other than that, I just hope each story, like the story of me personally experiencing what I did being a black man and her experience as a woman, resonates with someone out there.
What do you think, Scott?
Definitely like taking a step back. Like if, you know, sometimes you get like super into something and you're really, really passionate and you want to help a bunch of people, but at the same time you can be stepping on toes and forgetting what the main goal is. So I definitely hope that like people see this and they take a step back and think, well, what is the end goal here, and really help people.
Fantastic performance, fantastic
Powerful
message. Thank
message,
you guys.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Great to meet both of you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.